Mellow greetings, engineers. Welcome back to Space Engineers Hardcore Mars Survival. And today we need to put in some quality of life over there at the mine. To do that, we need to put in some blocks in a computer core. That way it can start, stop itself, and make signals so that it can get cargo retrieval. And we also need to start building some more infrastructure. A refinery, a vehicle assembly bay, and probably some place to live at some point. So let's get started with some of that. We can put a computer core somewhere. I can even stick it right here. That should be okay. We got 7, 3. Put a large, make it 0 forward, large grid hinge, and then we can snip this guy down, and we can tell our hinge incomplete hinge. This will be, there we go. And we can add a medium head, which is actually small grid. And also braking torque. It can flip itself down once we get going. I actually have, yeah, all this is networked together. So I can access everything from right here, which is super cool too. Let's see what I've got in here. I could do a remote control in the middle, just in case I want to remote access this place, which would be interesting, just so I can do whatever little bits I need to later. So why not do timer, which will give me, I think, all the rest of the things that I need, right? So I want one to start and stop, and I need it to detect, so I need an event controller. I need to be able to detect when something is full and empty. That'll be the drills. So when the drills are full or empty enough, I can start and stop this entire operation. That should be good. And what else? Broadcast controller, which would not be in this set. But I have to build an antenna first, don't I? So I need to get a beacon first. Cool, I can build a beacon. And we can program this computer core. Just turn you on. Double check. Is our central one. Then we can turn it off. That way we can use this as our cargo point of target here. So for our computer core, we can event controller, drill full, empty, event controller, and then our timer blocks. We have 2 more timer blocks. And it's nice that these are all this teal color because they're on a separate subgrid, so that way I can talk to all of these being the same. Drill, stop, and then we can also have a drill start. You're going to look at the cargo percentage. If you get more than 50% full, that means everything's getting full of our center drill. If we do that, we want to run our stop operations. And we're going to do drill ops full. So when drill ops full, we were going to perform actions, and I need to stop. Drill ops stop. I want to trigger now. Trigger my stop timer, and I can also put these on buttons, these 2 timers, and that way I can just stop the drill operations somewhere else. That's why I'm putting them on timers instead of running them all through the pages that are actually available on these event controllers. So let's do timer block stop operations, and we want to do a few things here. Drills group stop. I'm going to turn you off. My rotor, drill head rotor, you will also stop. Turn you off. I will have event controllers, 0, off, 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 and that way they can't possibly do anything. And then I also have a couple of timers up there. Not these 2 drill ops, but these 2 is to stop you. Let's do these on a different page so that I can stop and off, and stop and off. I can set up more actions. These are my advancing pistons. For both of you, I can set velocity to 0. And that's essentially it. That's going to stop them from moving around at all. Or rather, from advancing or contracting or whatever it is they're doing. These other two, these rotors here, they don't need to do anything else because I've stopped the rotor head, which is the one doing all of the, I guess, triggering of actions. The drills aren't doing anything, so they're not burning energy for no reason. These pistons won't be moving anywhere. My event controllers are all been turned off, and these timers have been stopped, turned off. So that should silence everything in the drill. We've got our stop block working, and we can do our start block. Our start block needs to do everything else that the other one did. Go to our timers, our attaching timers there. We can turn you on first and stop you. This one will turn you on first, still top inbound. You. And then we can come back up here. Drills can come on. Drill head rotor can turn back on. Vent controllers are next. We just need to turn them on. We're not going to make them do anything. So just on, they can start tracking their stuff. And that should be it. The pistons never got turned off, so they don't need to be turned back on. And then we can always double check. So these are looking good. My advancing pistons, your speed needs to be a fair bit lower. Right now it's 0. Go to the event controller that's going to advance you. Select actions. You're going to set this piston velocity to a thing. And I think that, say 0.5 is way too fast. So we're going to set a velocity to 5. Just because it has 1 degree to go through and it's moving kind of slow. So there we go. 0.25 should be good there. Those bits should be good. Let's do this. Event controller for drill operations when we're full. Not only are we going to stop the drill, we will... So what I could do is just turn the antenna on. Then I can broadcast relay. Broadcast message 1. And then next page, antenna off. Now when the drills... Well, rather, when the whole cargo load is full and that drill gets backed up, that'll stop everything. I could actually put the button panel right here in front of all that too. There we go. So I can start, stop with my timers. I also have an antenna up there because I could do antenna on off. So I could potentially control things while I'm here too. I think I'm good here. This should fill up pretty immediately. And that is my quality of life for this part. Another part that it would have to do is call for the vehicle to come pick it up, the material that's ready down there. Or rather, I can just have a material vehicle going all the time, which means I need another vehicle, which means I need a construction bay. So I'll have to build that next. I'll build it closer to my base, and that way I can build more vehicles to build more stuff a lot faster. So I think this is good for right now. And my antenna is off, so let's turn it on. Then we can come down here and look at our handiwork. Turn my suit antenna on so I can talk to it. I want to go to the terminal and drill operation start timer block. Trigger now. And I see my drills on. And a slow rotation. I don't see it bumping anywhere. A nice slow motion. And I decrease the speed of these pistons. There's still some wobbling going on. But I think that's going to be okay. I think we'll be fine. Because that's not as wobbly as it used to be. Hopefully it'll stay balanced as it is. Okay, moving on now. I think I want to work on a vehicle assembly bay somewhere back here and try to avoid some of these divots, find a nice even area. I want to frame out things over there, put my headlights on. I want to frame. I'm going to need plates. Let's actually get some girders. Girders are much more effective at giving me a big space. I'm going to use some more of these large windows, these 3x3s, so I can extend some scaffolding from my base. That way I get the power generation and maintain a sense of the same grid as I come across. And I'll try to drag this out so I can find some flat area around here, and that way my building doesn't have too much of a footer on it. Make it look a little weird. So from here, that's way too high. That's way too high. This is a good foundational piece right there. See how the ground goes. I can save myself a lot of steel plate too by using half plates after I carve out some of this stuff. Pull you further out here. It's 20 right there. So if I make this like a 20 by 20, it's going uphill that way. So if I pull further this way, see, that's like sticking out of the ground now. So this is probably the last good one here. And then I can pull 20 blocks that way, and that'll be a good foundation for me. So this is like one of the things that I found was very difficult in the initial layout of the Swift Thistle when I did it on the public server, is that if you don't get your measurements just right, all of your follow-on stuff is going to be off. So that I could put hinges on this, so that I could put scaffolding up. I could put scaffolding. I was going to make it a sun shield, but I could just make that scaffolding itself. That would make it easier to place as well. That's the easier solution here. Hinge out one more. 0 there. 7. Hinge out one more. Oh, looks like I lost power, which means something got struck along the way. We're connected through here. And not here. So the base... Oh, God. Saved by the base again. So the base got struck yet again. Definitely need to go get some magnesium. Then can be online. Good. Good. Then I can start laying some more glass with the girders. I think this is a good evolution of that sunshield idea I was doing with the drill. This way, these hinges can extend upward, protecting me from the sun with these massive windows that can be partially built. And then I can build inward from there to make scaffolding so I can build the exterior of a building. Up in our little chair that's not protected at all. Hinges. Factory scaffolding hinges. Add you in there too, specifically the roof. All y'all are strong. Let's give you reverse. Let's get out of that sun exposure as we watch everything collapse around us. That one I'm worried about, because that one hinge might not be enough. And it doesn't look like it is. Does not look like it is enough. This panel is having a problem too because this stuff is in the way. This one doesn't have enough strength. I do have some plates on me. Let's get some more hinge action going on. Negative direction does go that way. Radiation is very high. Then 7 and hinge part is what I need next. Hinge part goes... Yes, there. Then Attach. There we go. Now I've got enough power to lift that guy. Excellent. It's not perfect, but it's something. I'll take it. Because now I can work in somewhat easier... somewhat of an easier area. Even though it's not great. It's better than nothing. I need to be able to get up here. Maybe a ramp will do. That'll work. I can come up here. And then, what else do I want? Since I'm up here, glass. Choose-its. Yeah, scaffolding. You can sit right there. Yay. Right. Oh, okay. I did hit the wall. So let's test how this works. I come up this way, then I come across. I only built myself up. Okay, come across. And then I've got another opening here, so I come across. Okay, cool. That does work. So you can sit there. Then I need another big panel. And then we can start building up more of the building exterior. Let's go. Oh. Oh. No! Okay. Well, that sucks a lot. I died. Hardcore over. Might as well go get some food so I'm not walking slow as I sulk around. We didn't even make it to day 10. No! It wasn't even the falling off the building that got me. It was the extra block that I placed because I was being greedy. This is what killed me. This one block. And here we are at the end. Killed by not the fall, but the cube. That's the cube that did me in, which is very, very unfortunate because this was coming along quite nicely on the run. So let's go over here real fast. Let's do an autopsy of our hardcore survival. Our little starting base back there hasn't changed much. And that's because once I got stable, I kind of got onto too big of projects too fast. So I went and made a mine that ended up not being too fruitful because I'm not using most of the stone. And then I immediately jumped into a building that's super large without a lot of supporting vehicles. And ultimately, I dropped a block on my head, killing me. So I think I tried to go too big, too fast without scaling up appropriately, and that kind of hurt me in the resources and the building department. This was definitely a challenge, not having the jetpack, only using the vanilla blocks, the radiation, the starvation, but definitely a challenge. I think I'll give it another shot in another similar hardcore survival. Here's what that building's going to look like with the shields coming down on it. I think it would have been pretty cool to have built this entire thing and then see that scaffolding come down. But unfortunately, that's it. I died just before the dawn of day 10 on our hardcore more survival. So I'll have to take some of these lessons learned and try again. Until next time, go forth and build great things. See you then.